What's up everyone, Darcblade here with another episode in my Guide in Destiny series. In this episode we're going to be talking about the Voidwalker Warlock subclass. Now remember that the builds I use in these videos are builds that work best for me. Also the damage numbers I quote are for PvP, as the levels are balanced. And in PvE, damage can be a lot higher or lower depending on various factors like gear, level and so on. Lastly, the builds in these videos are based on end game content. The Voidwalker Warlock is a void-based class. They have access to various powerful void abilities that annihilate enemies. They also have access to a class-specific mechanic known as Energy Drain or Energy Siphon. This is a special boost to your grenade recharge timer, granted by the Warlock's melee attack Energy Drain, or through other ability modifiers. Now moving on to talk about the free grenade abilities available to the Voidwalker. The first is the Vortex Grenade. This grenade creates a radial vortex over 4 meters that damages foes caught in it. Similar to the Sunsinger's Solar Grenade, the Vortex Grenade deals 100 damage in PvP per second. It also stays active for 3.5 seconds before dispersing. The pros for this grenade is that it can be used to deal a lot of damage if an enemy is inside the grenade's radius for the full duration. This works well on slow moving or stationary targets. It also can be used nicely to defend an area, preventing intelligent foes from entering. Like the Solar Grenade, a tip for the Vortex Grenade is to throw it where foes are going and not where they are, unless they are stationary. The major con for the Vortex Grenades are that it is easily avoided and has a low radius. The next grenade is the Scatter Grenade. This grenade splits into many sub-munitions and covers a large area with explosions. When the grenade hits a surface, it will split into small bomblets that cover a 9-meter radius. The damage from this grenade depends on how close the target is to the bomblets. If a foe is at the impact site of the grenade, then it may take up to 160 damage in PvP. When facing foes, you want to try to be accurate with the Scatter Grenade to cause the most damage. The pros for this grenade are that they cover a wide radius, able to deal widespread damage over a wide area. The cons are though that the damage really does vary depending on the target's positioning when the grenade hits the surface. The last grenade is the Axion Bolt. This grenade creates bolts of void light that will seek out targets. The Axion Bolt is a form of secret grenade. After you throw the Axion Bolt, it will detonate on impact and create an initial ring over a 10-meter radius, after which 2 Void Seekers will be created and hunt down foes caught in the initial 10 meters. The Seekers are slow but will accurately hunt down targets. Each bolt deals 90 damage in PvP. The pros for this grenade are that it is easy to use, enabling you to land a grenade hit easily on targets. It's great for finishing off weakened opponents or for damaging foes who are behind cover. The cons are though that the Seekers are slow moving and can be outrun in PvP if they're noticed. This is because the Seekers will disperse after a certain distance. They are also on the weaker side of the grenade damage spectrum. Moving on to talk about the jumping abilities available to the Voidwalker. The main jumping ability is Glide. This allows the Voidwalker to glide slowly through the air when activated. You can enhance the glide ability in various ways. The first enhancement is Focus Control. This upgrades your glide to give you better directional control while you're in the air. The second enhancement is Focus Burst. This upgrades the glide ability to provide it with an initial boost of speed. The third enhancement is Blink. Like the Blade Dancer Hunter, Blink gives the Warlock a short distance teleport that replaces Glide. This can be useful in PvP to disorient opponents and give you an element of unpredictableness. The super ability for the Voidwalker is the Mighty Nova Bomb. When activated, the Voidwalker will hurl an explosive bolt of void energy at opponents. When it hits a surface or target, it will disintegrate those caught within its blast radius. This devastating blast of void energy goes in the direction you are aiming. Once you fire the blast, the camera will pan out to third person as the Voidwalker performs their super. During this cast animation, you still have time to readjust your aim in case the target moves. The Nova Bomb instantly kills players in PvP. In PvE, it will destroy all but bosses and high-level mages. The blast radius of the Nova Bomb is 9 meters, and those caught in the middle of the blast will take the most damage. It also has drop-off in its trajectory, so if you're aiming at distant targets, it's better to aim high in order for the Nova Bomb to hit them. A tip for using Nova Bomb is to jump and glide or blink before casting it in order to give yourself a better vantage point and give yourself a better chance of landing that perfect Nova Bomb. Nova Bomb can be enhanced in various ways. The first enhancement is Vortex. After Nova Bomb hits, it will create a vortex over a 9-meter radius that continuously damages enemies trapped inside it. This attack deals its damage in rapid pulses, similar to the Vortex Grenade. The vortex will last for 6 seconds, with each second dealing 100 damage in PvP. In PvE, this is great against slow-moving foes that are not killed by the initial blast of Nova Bomb. In PvP, most foes are killed by your Nova Bomb, but the vortex can be used to block off areas from the enemy team. The second enhancement is Shatter. This turns your Nova Bomb into 3 projectiles. These are all cast at the same time, but give you the option to spread Nova Bomb over a wider area, great for clearing areas of foes. While the 3 projectiles are not as concentrated as the normal Nova Bomb, it can be still devastating in PvP. The third enhancement is Lance. This allows your Nova Bomb to travel further and at a faster rate. It basically eliminates the trajectory drop-off. It gives you a Nova Bomb that pretty much has a straight trajectory. If you want a long-range Nova Bomb, this is the option for you. It can help with bosses that you have to keep your distance from, and surprise foes in PvP. The melee ability for the Voidwalker is Energy Drain, a powerful melee attack that drains energy from foes and uses it to reduce the cooldown of your grenades. Energy Drain is your energy siphon trigger. You only need to hit a foe to activate it, so you don't have to worry about killing your foe when hitting them with Energy Drain. Initially, the boost to your grenade cooldown is 1.6 times the normal speed, over 5 seconds. Having more discipline will boost this even more. This means that both strength and discipline can come in handy with the Voidwalker. Energy Drain can be enhanced in various ways. The first enhancement is Surge. After damaging an opponent with Energy Drain, you will gain a buff that increases your movement and weapon handling speed for a short time. It lasts for 15 seconds. This boost will basically allow you to move faster and allow your weapons to be aimed faster, which is both useful in PvE and PvP. The second enhancement is Lifesteal. If you are able to kill a foe with your Energy Drain melee attack, you will immediately restore a significant portion of your health. In PvP, you gain 10 points of health back and gain a 1.5 second health regeneration buff, even if you're taking damage. This is a nice survival option, especially if you like to fight in close quarters. The downside is that you have to actually kill the target with Energy Drain for the effect to occur. The third enhancement is Soul Rip. If you kill a foe with Energy Drain, you will reduce the cooldown of your Nova Bomb. Killing a foe this way will give you 10% of your super bar. This works well for strength intellect builds, as it will give you a quick access to your Nova Bomb. However, it does require you to kill your foes with Energy Drain, not just hit them. With this in mind, aim to melee weaker foes to get the most out of this enhancement. Now moving on to talk about the ability modifiers. Ability modifiers are found in the 6th and 8th row of the talent tree. Ability modifiers are split up into 2 tiers and will change how your abilities work slightly. For the Voidwalker tier 1 you have the following. The first option is Annihilate. This increases the size of explosions created by Nova Bomb and your grenades. It increases it by 10% and gives you some impressive coverage with your explosives. This can help improve your damage when faced with lots of weaker foes in PvE or spread out foes in PvP. It also affects the Bloom ability modifier, which I'll get to in a minute. It also gives you +1 agility. The second option is Angry Magic. This gives your Nova Bomb the ability to track enemies, meaning you don't have to aim perfectly with your super. If you're not picky about your targets, this modifier will allow your Nova Bomb to seek out the closest target after you activate it. This does work well when combined with Shatter or Lance Nova Bombs. Shatter gives you free seeking Nova Bombs, and with Lance it gives you a fast seeking, hard to dodge Nova Bomb. Angry Magic also gives you +1 armor. The third option is the Hunger. This modifier increases the duration of the Energy Drain effect. This adds another 3 seconds on top of the effect, making it last for a total of 7 seconds. This works well if you have a heavy discipline setup. It will also increase your overall sustained DPS. If combined with Embrace of the Void, it gives you the ability to trigger long-lasting energy drain effects from any grenade hit, which is not difficult, especially if you're using the Axiom Bolt. For the Voidwalker's tier 2 ability modifiers, you have the following. The first option is Vortex Mastery. This increases the range of Axiom Bolt Seekers and the duration of Vortex effects for both your Vortex Nova Bomb and Vortex Grenades. This doubles the range of the Axiom bolts and adds a further 2.5 seconds to the vortex effects. This is a straightforward option in PvE, as it will grant you a damage increase, while in PvP it gives you the option to build a great area denial build to stop opponents from taking points, objectives, etc. The second option is Bloom. This will cause enemies killed by any of your abilities to explode. More useful in PvE than PvP, this causes foes to explode with void energy, dealing 140 damage in PvP over a 5 meter radius. This can potentially cause massive chains of explosions. Like I mentioned before, Bloom is also affected by the Annihilate ability modifier to increase its blast radius. The third option is Embrace the Void. This allows the energy drain effect to be triggered after damaging foes with Nova Bomb or any of your grenades. This means that all of your abilities will generate the energy drain buff, resulting in faster regenerating grenades. This is great for sustained damage. The longer the encounter or boss fight, the better this is. However, it does lack the burst potential of Bloom and the area denial of Vortex Mastery. Just remember to spam those grenades as often as you can with this modifier to get the most out of it. Next are the passives. These are modifiers to your base stats, which include your armor, recovery, and agility. These are found in columns 5 and 7 of the talent tree. Now I would say these are down to personal preference at the end of the day. Again, these are divided into 2 tiers. In tier 1, you have the following. Option 1 is Arcane Wisdom. This gives you +2 agility and +2 recovery. Option 2 is Arcane Spirit. That gives you +2 armor and +2 recovery. Option 3 is Arcane Force, which gives you +2 armor and +2 agility. With tier 2 you have the following. Option 1 is Ancestral Order. It gives you +2 armor, +2 agility and +2 recovery. Option 2 is Chaos Order. This gives you +5 agility. And option 3 is Divine Order. This gives you +4 armor and +2 recovery. Now Destiny is a game that can have multiple specs, and you should always use what is best for you. I tend to spec the Voidwalker as follows. The normal build I go for is sustained damage, sustained DPS. This involves a lot of grenades, so I start by taking either scatter or axiom bolt grenades, depending on the type of foes I will be facing. Axiom bolt I tend to prefer in PvP. With glide I will normally take focus burst for controlled jumping sections or blink. Blink especially is favoured in PvP. With the Nova Bomb, I will take Vortex for bosses in PvE and Area Denial in PvP. However, some foes in PvE are out of normal Nova Bomb reach, so I will switch to Lance on those occasions. With Energy Drain, I will generally take Surge, as it doesn't require Energy Drain to kill foes, which is a lot more difficult to do on the harder difficulties in PvE. Although in PvP I will sometimes switch to Lifesteal. Soul Rip is only taken for encounters where there are lots of easily melee dispatched foes. With the ability modifiers for this build, I will take the Hunger and Embrace the Void to give me longer lasting periods of the Energy Drain buff. With patience and practice you can go into encounters with the Energy Drain buff being almost constantly up. Once the buff is activated by a grenade, I tend to hold off using any other ability till the buff needs to be reapplied. That way the energy siphoning effect stays constant. When it comes to using abilities with this build, I will always prioritise grenades, as this is what Energy Drain recharges. This will be followed by Nova Bomb and then the Energy Drain melee attack. Of course, the above method and rotation are for long fights, and if fights can be dealt with more quickly by spamming abilities, then just do so. With the passives, I tend to give myself as much armor and recovery as I can. Apart from in PvP, I find agility not to be an issue, especially when I use the Surge Energy Drain. This all being said, I will sometimes switch to a damage over time and area denial build. This involves mainly switching to the Vortex grenades and your ability modifiers to Annihilate and Vortex Mastery. This will give you massive amounts of DPS on slow moving and stationary foes like bosses in PvE, as well as preventing your foes from taking objectives in PvP. There is a burst damage build too that involves Bloom, but on the harder difficulties I rarely use this, as foes are a lot tougher and you can rarely find areas that will allow you to create massive chains of Bloom explosions. Overall, the Voidwalker Warlock was the first class I ever played in Destiny. They are very offensive orientated, with a vast majority of their abilities focused solely on sustained or burst damage. Their grenades are good, and their unique energy drain melee buff gives them plenty of options for different intellect, strength and discipline gear. Personally though, I still go for intellect and discipline. Their Nova Bomb is one of the most iconic supers in Destiny, allowing the Voidwalker to deal massive damage over a wide radius without having to get into melee range. If damage is what you seek from your Warlock, then the Voidwalker is the subclass you seek. They are able to deal damage at distance over a wide area and have one hell of a hard hitting super, making this void wielding class a dangerous foe. Anyway, I've been Darcblade, bringing you my guide to the Voidwalker Warlock as I guide you through Destiny. Hope you enjoyed the video, thanks for watching, subscribe and like for more.